so that I'm talking to the same place rather than talking to one of you and not the other. Please bear with me. How's that? Yeah, it's a little bit squint. I think we're good. I think we're good. This is supposed to be live at 5 because it rhymes, it must be true, but this is live at 5 past 5. Because it's 5 past 5, it still all rhymes, so we're okay. Live at 5 past 5. Let me just go to the comments, we'll see who's on. Today we're talking about the 5 biggest weight loss mistakes. This is something that we sort of rejig now and again, so it's normally maybe once a year we'll go, these are the 5 biggest weight loss mistakes. And it might be different each time. And the reason that we come up with the 5 is based on our experience over the past 12 months, generally speaking. So we've got our 5 today, or I've got the 5 today because Rab's looking after his girls at the moment. So I've got the 5 biggest weight loss mistakes, biggest fat loss mistakes, and we will we'll dive into those in just a wee second. But yeah, so it's based on our experience. Rab and I have been doing weight loss for a long time. 17 years we've been doing this. So it's a long time, and we see patterns coming up throughout our membership that we run online at the moment. The doors are open to our membership, so just go to thekiltedcoaches.com and all the links will be there. But each year, depending on what's happening with our members and with the people that we're speaking to, we will then change these 5. So today's 5 are super important and really is what's coming up at the moment. The very first one is the most common, and this has probably been repeated by us so many times, especially to our members, but also to the bigger audience, to you guys. This is super common. And we'll get into that in just a wee second once I've gone to the comments. It's always nice to say hi to everybody, see who's there. Do that. Awesome, so we've got Chris, Lito, and Jamie. Chris, Lito, Jamie, and Ashish on YouTube. Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by. Let me just go to Facebook and we'll see who's on there. Where are we? There we are. On Facebook we've got Mario, Patty, Susan, Kathy, Valerie and Deb, all saying variations of hello. Hello. So let's get stuck straight into this because you're here for a reason. You're here to get some education, a little bit of inspiration. So let's get stuck into this. Let me just get up my notes. Right. Number 1. The number one thing, number one mistake that everybody makes when they're trying to lose weight is cutting out too many calories. It happens still to this day, no matter how much we go on and on about it, it still happens to this day. People go into a weight loss journey and they're super motivated, they're really inspired, they're really kind of fired up for it, and they go, right, I'm going to lose a stone in the next month. I'm going to lose all my weight in the next 3 months, and I'm going to be living the life come the summertime. And with all that motivation comes actions. And maybe not necessarily the wisest of actions, and that is a lot of people will just cut out too many calories. They just cut out too much, and they look at the diet and go, right, I'm going to have 3 square meals, I'm going to have lots of vegetables, I'm going to go and have some more soups. Now, if I was being conservative with this figure, I would say a lot of people drop about 1/3 of their intake. Okay, it's quite a lot. Sometimes not as much as that, maybe it's about 1/4, okay? That's being conservative. And even dropping 1/4 of your intake is still too much. And I'm going to go on to why that is in a second. Dropping 1/4 of your intake is still too much. You've got to consider the long long-term game plan for this. But I've seen a lot more. I've seen people cutting out more than a quarter of their intake. And I'm talking, an average female should be having roughly 2,000 calories per day. An average female, okay? Everybody's different. A lot less, some are slightly more. And if you are overweight or carrying a few extra pounds, there's been periods in your life when you've eaten more than 2,000 calories. Sometimes without even realising it. Sometimes you're drinking calories because you're having too much fizzy juice, fizzy soda, should I say? Soda, for those Americans. And when you then go on a bit of a health kick, you say, right, I'm going to cut a bunch of calories out, I'm going to have just normal meals, or in extreme cases, what happens is people go on things like the green soup diet. And I'm all up for green soup. I'm all up for it. But if that's all you're having, your body's going to be struggling to get a bunch of nutrients it really needs. And there's a time and place for everything. It depends on how long you're sticking to these things as well. We'll get into all that in a second. But what happens when you cut out too many calories? I've got a chalkboard wall right there, but you have to move too many cameras to show you. So it's not really going to be possible. What happens? I'll use my hands instead. I've got a runny nose. So you've got your overall metabolism, right? Let's say your metabolism is here at your burning. Say I'm going to talk to the average female right now. Okay, so if you're male, then you just make these adjustments. If you're not quite the average female, then make adjustments. Okay, but the average female is going to be burning 2,000 calories per day, and you're going to be consuming 2,000 calories per day. Okay, I'm talking about the average female who's not losing weight and not gaining weight. Okay, it's roughly 2,000 calories per day you should be taking in, and if you're gaining or losing weight, then you can make an assumption that your metabolism is also burning 2,000 calories per day. Okay, intake, metabolism. Okay, stays exactly the same. Now, what happens is when somebody tries to lose weight, they go, right, I'm going to cut out a bunch of the nonsense that I'm eating, and they drop the calorie intake down. And again, I'll be being conservative, but oftentimes it's about 1,500 that they drop it down to, okay, by a quarter. Okay, so a quarter of intake gets dropped, and you go, poof, right here. So now you're taking in 1,500, but your metabolism is still at 2,000. Okay, so you may be thinking, yes, this is exactly what I want. But unfortunately, your metabolism is made up with a few things. Okay, your metabolism is made up with your basal metabolic rate, which is just the amount of calories you would burn if you lay down all day. You've then got your thermal effect of food. That's an important one. That's the amount of calories you would burn. The thermal effect, i.e. your body heats up to process the food that you're eating just based on the food that you're eating. Okay, so there's a metabolism portion that is then increased when you start to eat food. Okay, so basal metabolic rate, thermic effect of food. Then you've got your thermic effect of exercise. Okay, so intake may or may not affect your exercise if you're just training regularly. But then you've got what's called your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay, that's N-E-A-T. Non-exercise activity. Non-exercise activity. Let's keep saying that word. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay, so the calories that you burn through your activity, but non-exercise activity, i.e. when my hands are moving, the way I'm sitting upright, when I walk tilly pups, when I do some housework, when I pick the kids up, all these little things are non-exercise activity. And when your metabolism is 2,000 and you drop your intake to 1,500, yes, that means you have a 500 calorie deficit every single day, which results in weight loss by the end of the week because of this gap here. But when you stay here, because you've dropped too much, what happens is your metabolism will just start to adjust. Your non-exercise activity will plummet because you won't have as much energy. Your thermic effect of food will go down. So all that suddenly, what was 2,000 suddenly isn't so much anymore. And that's not to say, depending on how you're making up your diet, if you've cut out even more, if you've gone on a green soup diet, your intake's going to be way down here, and the nutrients are going to be so deficient that your metabolism is just going to do this. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And before you realise it, you're having 1,000, 1,200 calories per day, and your metabolism has matched. So you're no longer losing weight, and you're only taking in 1,200. You're miserable, you're getting ill all the time, you're getting injured all the time because your body just doesn't have the nutrients to keep you healthy. Your body needs nutrients, not necessarily the calorie content of it, okay? There's ins and outs of that as well, but the sheer nutrients that you're going to be void. And the calories will start having an effect. Your overall energy will go down, so your non-exercise activity. If I was here and if I was dehydrated and not eating well, I'd be like, yes, I'm going to give you the lesson now. And my body would naturally try to save as much energy as it possibly can by keeping me nice and still, very non-articulate, non-expressive, and you guys would get very, very bored very, very quickly if I kept talking like this, because it's not exactly a sign of health and vitality. Okay, so keeping yourself active, keeping yourself kind of fired up, 2 seconds, comes from not just the food that you're eating, but absolutely the food that you're eating. So weight loss mistake number 1 is cutting out too much too soon. You need to look at the bigger picture, and yes, creating a calorie deficit is super, super important. Okay, it's how we lose weight, by burning more calories than you're consuming. Okay, it really is. So when I did this, metabolism, intake, boom, 500 calorie deficit, and you're losing weight because of this little zone here, because you're burning more than you're consuming. But there's different ways to achieve that gap. Okay, it's not by cutting stuff out. Sometimes it's changing the nutrients that you're eating. It's the quality of the food that you're eating. If you eat good quality protein rather than processed stuff, if you just actually increase more protein rather than carbohydrates and fats, suddenly your body is burning more energy just processing your food, i.e. the thermic effect of food. Okay, TEF, thermic effect of food. So suddenly that will go up if you change to nutrients that are actually satisfying your body and giving your body exactly what it needs. Okay, so suddenly just by having exactly the same amount of calories in your diet, but actually increasing vegetables and increasing protein is the main one, suddenly you're going to be burning more calories with exactly the same calorie intake. Okay, if we're then to start creating a deficit, you should be looking at 10%. Okay, 10% of what you're currently having to reduce by, unless you've already gone through this cycle. Metabolism, food intake, metabolism adjusts, you hit a plateau. Everybody's hit a place when I'm eating exactly the same but I'm not losing any more weight. Yeah, it's because your metabolism's probably adapted. And what most people do is go, I clearly need to cut out more, so they do this, they lose some more weight because of this gap, and metabolism adjusts. And suddenly you find yourself in this horrible place where you've got low thyroid function, you've got low mood, you've got low focus, you're just low energy, low vitality, low health, low happiness, and you're just like, what do I do? Okay, so if you're one of these people, don't cut out by 10% again. Okay, we need to start building things up slowly but surely, increasing your protein, getting some exercise, eating a little bit more, doing some more exercise, eating a little bit more, and eventually you can build yourself back up to 2,000 calories. That's in a nutshell. I know it's way more complicated than that, but I've got 4 more points to get through. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of kind of food for thought to say don't cut out too much too soon. That's really important. This is the most common one. Okay, that's the one that's always repeated when we do these 5 biggest weight loss mistakes. This one's always mentioned, like, don't cut out too much too soon. It's detrimental to your long-term health. You'll get some short-term weight loss from it. I can guarantee if you cut out too much, you'll get short-term weight loss and you go, oh, see, it works. It works, Stephen, in your face, Stephen, it works. But then a month will pass and you'll stop losing weight and you'll be miserable and you won't know why. Don't cut out too much too soon. Number 2, thinking short-term. So when you start thinking short-term, we often try to reach for a new you, right? So if this is where you currently are, if you are currently 2 gene sizes too big for where you want to be. Oftentimes people will think short term, if I can just do this one thing, I'm stressed, I'm upset with my weight. If I can just do this one thing, and if I change a bunch, if I start going to the gym more and change all these kind of details, change my lifestyle for 3 months, then I can get my motivation back, and I can get my energy back, and get my body back, and I can get my happiness back. If I just do this for 3 months. And you know what? You can achieve a lot in 3 months. I know this is what we do for a living. 3 months is an awesome time period for achieving fantastic results. Really good time period. It's far enough in the future, it's far enough that you know you can achieve some amazing things, but it's also close enough that it makes it more urgent. Okay, so if you say, can you do this by, next year? You go, yeah, sure. And you'll do nothing for 6 months. You'll start thinking about it for another 3 months, and then you'll actually take action for the last 3 months. Okay, that's generally what happens when somebody thinks, oh, I've got a year to do this thing. So people just don't take action when it's too far in. That's why 3 months works. But if that's all you're thinking about, if you're thinking, I'm just going to do this thing for 3 months, no, you set visions for 3 months. You set your goals for 3 months. But it's little short-term goals, it's medium-term goals, it's little milestones that you're going to hit along the way. That's not, I'm going to do this amazing thing for 3 months and then I can get back to my normal lifestyle. Your body adapts to your environment. We'll come on to a bit more of that in one of the other points as well. Your body adapts to your environment. So yes, if you give it a new environment for 3 months, then yes, it's going to adapt. But then if you go back to your normal way of living, your normal environment, then what do you think is going to happen? Your body will also adapt to that environment. So whatever you're doing, you have to think about the rest of your life. So that again, this is what we teach our members through and through. It's not as much as we've got little weekly check-ins, we've got weekly targets to hit, and we've got these little weekly drip-fed lessons that come in. We can start looking at things in terms of months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. We start breaking things up. But all the nutrition coaching, all the exercise that we deliver is all about for the rest of your life. Here's a principle that's going to be good for you for the rest of your life. Here's some training that's going to be good for you for the rest of your life. Yeah? Here's some psychology lessons that's going to help you for the rest of your life. Okay, this is not about, let's see what we can achieve in 3 months, or let's see what we can achieve by this time next month. Okay, and yes, our members get amazing results over a month, or over 3 months, over 6 months. But that's not where their mentality is. They get amazing results over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, because they're in that mentality of, this is just the way I live. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. Come on to more of that in a second. So weight loss mistake number 2 is thinking short term. Short-term changes. Oh, I'm going to do this for a little while. It's not going to work. You have to embody it for the rest of your life. Number 3, weight loss mistake number 3 is forgetting about your overall environment and thinking it's just about exercise and nutrition. So when you embark on a weight loss journey, a lot of people go instantly exercise, nutrition. Okay, now I'm not here to say that you're doing something wrong or right. It's just saying mistakes. I can talk about this mistake from my point of view because this is what I did as a personal trainer and moving forward my whole career. Okay, instantly when I think I'm going to help people with their fitness. Okay, and when you're helping people with their fitness, all you need to know is fitness, and I delved into all the different aspects of fitness, and I thought I knew so much about fitness, and it was great. But what I realized was my passion was in helping people. My passion was actually transforming somebody's life, or helping to transform somebody's life, helping someone transform their own life, in essence. So suddenly I thought, oh, I need to know about nutrition then, because you might train 3 times a week, but you'll eat 3 times a day. I need to know about nutrition. So suddenly I started studying nutrition, and I'd done all course after course after course, and I went in depth as much as I possibly could. I was like, great, I know a bunch about fitness and a bunch about nutrition, and I thought I knew it all. And this is where a lot of people go wrong when it comes to their own personal weight loss journey. You look into what fitness you're going to do or activity, and then you look into the nutrition that you're going to follow, and you go, oh. And then when you nail this and you nail this, but you're still not getting the results you're looking for, you've then got to start considering, right, is there something else? Yes, of course there is. Because your environment, like I said, your body adapts to your environment. So your environment is made up of much more than just your activity level and the food that you're eating. You've got to consider your sleeping arrangement, what time you're going to bed, time you're waking up. You've got to consider your stress levels, hormone balance. You've got to consider any potential toxins. What water are you drinking? Are you sleeping with your window open? Who are you spending time with? And we'll come on to more of that in a second as well. Who are you spending time with? What kind of environment are you living in? How long are you sitting up? How long do you stand for? Do you have a dog that you walk? Absolutely every single factor in your environment will have an impact on your weight loss. So weight loss mistake number 3 is forgetting about your overall environment and focusing too much on fitness and nutrition. Fitness and nutrition are important, don't get me wrong. They're super important. Okay, it's a major part of our membership is the fitness and nutrition. It is important. But if you think it's everything and you forget about the rest, you're doomed to be frustrated. So start thinking about everything. This is why when it comes to like our members, we coach. We've got a sleep school section, so we've got a bunch of lessons about how to get a better night's sleep. Lifestyle coaching. There's guided meditations and relaxation. We're going to be introducing guided breathworks as well, which we're super excited about. But it's also looking at like the tracking of your results and your overall environment, balancing out hormones, looking at stress levels, keeping track of your mindset. This is all really, really vital stuff, never to be overlooked. So weight loss number 3 is forgetting about that overall environment and focusing too much on fitness and nutrition. Number 4, trying to do it all by yourself. Pretty sure there's going to be at least 50% of you, every 1 in 2 people reading this or watching this right now, will have tried to do it themselves in the past. Like, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to lose weight, but I'm just going to pretend that I'm not. Watching my diet, watching my waistline, watching my nutrition, trying to be more active, but I don't want anyone to see. Now, we're obviously doing, or we have filmed a TV series which is on right now. If you're in the UK, you can catch it on the BBC iPlayer. It is actually on tonight at 8 o'clock again on BBC Scotland. But the premise of the show is actually secret. It's called Secret Body. And the premise of the show is our participants wear a custom-made bodysuit that hides their progress from their friends and family. So that they don't have that sort of outside influence. And that might seem like a contradiction to what I'm saying here, is trying to do it all by yourself. But surely Secret Body, they're doing it all by themselves. But no, they're not. Actually goes hand in hand with this point. The point being is we are tribal by nature. Okay, we as human beings, we are tribal by nature. We literally connect more and we adapt behaviour based on the people that we surround ourselves with, based on our interactions with other people. So if you are surrounded by people who know that you struggle with your weight, who will more than likely offer you another piece of cake with that coffee, who will encourage you to let's leave the gym tonight and let's have a glass of wine and a nice chat instead. People who will bring you down because they're struggling with their weight loss journeys. Okay, these are the type of people that you might want to be keeping it secret from, so that you can just focus in on what you're doing. But surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you, who understand you, who are supportive regardless. Now, you get people who love you and they'll offer you cake because they love you. And you've just told them that you're on a weight loss journey and they'll say, you can have one little bit. And they don't mean to sabotage. They don't mean to be mean or nasty. They love you. They're doing it out of love because they believe that somehow you're restricting yourself. You are you're holding back love from yourself by avoiding that cake. Refusing the cake means you're refusing love somehow. Okay? Because this type of person, they absolutely love you, but that's how they associate food, with love. So, I don't want to speak ill of anybody's friends or family members. Everyone listening right now will have someone in their life who goes, yeah, that's that person. That's that person who will offer cake even though they've just said, I'm trying to lose weight. Because they want you to have nice things. They love you, they want you to have nice things. This is the type of person that you want to avoid it from. So when it comes to Secret Body, our TV show, it was all about, no, let's just put a Secret Body show on and hide it from everybody apart from the people that you definitely know have got your back, your confidant, which is going to be generally the person that they live with, and then obviously your coach, okay, and maybe a select one or two other people. Therefore, you've got support network, and you can then just get stuck into business. And then when you feel ready, you can then involve other people. You say, this is what I'm doing. When you feel so strongly about it, when you've got the habits ingrained into your behaviours, then you can involve other people. It doesn't matter if they offer you cake, you go, nah, this is not what I do anymore. And you'll only refuse that cake so many times before they'll stop asking. So weight loss mistake number 4 is trying to do it all by yourself. Don't try and do it all by yourself. The power of the people around you cannot be underestimated. The power of the people around you, you're all tuning in right now listening to me because you're interested in this topic, and therefore anything that I say, you're sort of open ears, and then suddenly the words that I'm using will then start to have an effect on your subconscious, on your behaviours, on your thought patterns, your processes that you go through on a day-to-day basis, how you choose to eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner, what you're deciding to do moving forward with your weight loss journey. All this starts to have an effect because you're engaging. Imagine if you had this type of sort of interaction with all your relationships, people saying, good for you, well done, let's keep moving on. Oh, you're struggling a little bit? Okay, I struggled as well. Here's what I did to fix it. Maybe think about this. Do you want to talk about it? Suddenly you've got a support network that are there for you 100%. Love. Sometimes tough love is better than soft love. Yeah, have some more cake. You deserve it. You can have a little bit if you want to. Trying to do it all by yourself, just don't do it. This is why we are super conscious of the effect of community within our membership. Our members are pretty awesome when it comes to helping each other out. Always have been, and I'm assuming that always will be. That sense of community. The coaching is one thing, the lessons are one thing, but that sense of community and actually belonging to something, somewhere you can go and feel safe to ask questions and interact with people who are all on the same journey as you, going through the same struggles as you. It's pretty magical. So that's number 4. Number 5. So before we get into number 5 is a juicy one. Let's quickly recap. Number 1, cutting out too many calories right off the bat results in lower metabolism, poor health, poor focus, poor energy, and plateaus, frustration. Okay, don't cut out too much too soon. Number 2 was thinking short term and reaching for a new you. Okay, rather than just going, this is who I am now, and applying little things that are going to last the test of time. Okay, don't reach to be somebody new and then think that everything's just going to fall into place once you go back to your normal habits. It's just not going to happen. Apply habits that will last the test of time. Number 3 was forgetting about overall environment and thinking about your fitness and nutrition too much. So again, fitness and nutrition are vital. They absolutely are vital, but they're not everything. You have to think about your sleep. You have to think about your stress levels, hormone balance, how much you're standing, sitting, housework, walking the dog. You have to think about everything, every part of your environment. Even little things like the soap that you're using, the water that you're drinking, the quality of food that you're eating. All of these things will absolutely have an impact on your health and well-being, should never be overlooked. And number 4 was trying to do everything by yourself. Why do everything by yourself? When there's experts, there's communities of like-minded people ready to have your back, ready for you to get stuck into it, to be guided along the process. Why do it by yourself? You're going to be stick to it for a couple of weeks max, while your motivation lasts. But then when your motivation drops, you're like, well, nobody knows about this, I'm doing it by myself anyway, I'll start again next month. Or I'll forget about it until I'm focused again, until I'm fired up again, then I'll think about it again. Stop trying to do it by yourself. You will be able to do it by yourself for a couple of weeks. Okay, you'll get great results for a couple of weeks. Do you want to get short-term results just because you know you can do it by yourself? Or do you want to get long-term results by being part of the community, by including other people, by asking for help? Asking for help. Okay, number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5. The 5th, and probably most important to consider, weight loss mistake is believing that weight loss is the goal. I'm going to put this as number 1. Let's pretend we've done 5, 4, 3, 2, then 1. Okay, this makes more sense. Has more of an impact, right? Has more of an impact. So the number 1 weight loss mistake is believing that weight loss is the goal. What do I mean by this? Surely, when it comes to weight loss mistakes, weight loss is the goal. But it's not really, is it? I mean, unless you are in a weight category sport, yeah? So if you're like, I play judo, okay? So on a judo mat, if I'm going for a competition, then it's important that I know how much I weigh. Luckily for me, I average about 85 kilograms, and my judo category is anywhere between 80 and 90. So I could actually lose a bit of weight, gain a bit of weight, and it doesn't really affect my judo. Therefore, I know that I'm roughly 85 kilograms because I always am. But it doesn't bother me. I don't care what I weigh. I care how lean I am. I care how healthy I feel, how energetic I am, how focused and clear I am with my thoughts. That's what I care about. So if you're listening to this right now thinking, yeah, but I do care about my weight and weight loss is the goal, well, tell me why. Because 1,000 years ago, or even a couple of 100 years ago, you would have no idea what you weighed. Probably about a couple of 100 years ago, because I had scales and had weighing methods with like tipping scale, like a seesaw scale effect. Like, this is so many stones, literally stones, literal stones rather than measuring stones, I guess. But you wouldn't have a scale to say, okay, you're 200 pounds, you're 250 pounds, you're 300 pounds, or stones, or kilograms, or whatever you're going to measure it. Okay, you just wouldn't have that device, so you would have no idea what you weigh. So let's instead of going after your weight loss, let's discuss what are the actual goals. And this then comes into your motivation. Why are you motivated to lose weight? Why? Why is that important to you? Why is weight loss important to you? And then you might start coming up with some answers, like, because my confidence. Great. If it's for your confidence, then let's go straight to the source and let's talk about your confidence. Why not confidence? Well, because of my weight. Okay? Why does your weight affect your confidence? Because I can show you a bunch of people who are technically overweight, bags of confidence. Okay, so it's not about confidence. It's how you associate your size, perhaps, your shape, how your clothes fit, maybe, what you see when you look in the mirror. And when you break it all down, you then start thinking, okay, well, my weight is important because of my health. Okay, great, now we're getting somewhere, your health. Let's talk about that. Because a lot of people will bypass health and they'll bypass confidence and they'll beat themselves up trying to lose weight. Seen it many, many, many times. And when you break down again that confidence and your health, and you might think, well, it would just make me happier. It'd make me happier. And that's what everything boils down to. Why do you want to be confident? Because not being confident makes me a little bit sad. I kind of want to be confident so I can be happy. Great, it's all about happiness. Health and happiness. Two goals. Everything will boil down to health or happiness. And that of your family, of course. Okay, health and happiness. So when you start looking at your weight loss, this is why this is number one. Weight loss mistakes is believing that weight loss is the goal. Because you've got weight loss is a method in which you achieve something different. When you lose weight, what does it actually mean? If you lose a pound, what does that mean? If you lose 5 pounds, what does it mean? It means you have less stored energy. Okay, so less stored energy. Who cares? Why does that make you happy or not happy? When it comes to your health and your happiness, you can achieve both regardless of your weight. But I totally get that. Your weight, your excess body fat, your stored energy can put strains on your heart and your lungs, liver and your kidneys, digestive system, immune system, everything, your overall well-being. So losing excess body fat can absolutely be a stepping stone for achieving that deeper goal, but you have to know what that deeper goal really is. And oftentimes when you bypass the weight loss side of things, and you just say, right, what is the real goal then? If weight loss is not the goal, what is the real goal? The goal is to live an awesome life, right? The goal is to live an awesome life, a life that when you're on your deathbed and you're looking back and you're going, fuck, I had a great life and I have no regrets. Okay, no regrets. So that's, playing with your kids, having the energy to walk up the street, fucking climb a mountain. And yes, sometimes it's going to the pub and having a drink. Sometimes it's having a dance with your favourite niece. Having a dance with your favourite niece at a wedding. Okay, these should be the goals. Weight loss is a tool. It's a method. It's a pathway to the deeper goals and why we're doing these things in the first place. So if the goal is to move more, to get up a fucking mountain, to dance with your favourite niece, to be able to walk up and down the stairs without getting out of breath, then let's do all those things. Don't wait for you to lose weight to start feeling like that. Just say, no, I'm going to start moving more. And why are these things your goal? Now, I'm going to guess that some of you might go, actually, I do want to climb a mountain and I do want to dance with my favourite niece and I can't do those things right now. Okay, I'm making these things up to make a point, but hopefully you're all thinking right now, actually, that's my thing, and that's my thing. And you've got a couple of things in your mind of what you want to do for losing weight. Make that the goal. Because when you then start thinking about those things, the things that really matter to you, then suddenly you start to then layer on top of that, okay, well, how do I achieve that? Those really emotional goals that mean so much to me, that bring a wee tear to your eye when you think about them. How do I achieve that? Well, actually, it's being fit and healthy. Do you value your health and fitness? Do you value your strength? Yes, great, let's focus in on that. Do you value good nutrients? Do you want to be dancing with your favourite niece and climbing that fucking mountain for a long time yet? For many, many more years until you're almost on your deathbed. You want to be doing those things all the way up until the moment you die. Therefore, nutrients are suddenly important. The fibre you're taking in, the vitamins and the minerals that you're taking in, the good quality healthy fats that you're taking in, the protein that you're taking in, all these things, your hydration level, all these become vital. So when you start looking at that, you go, great, I'm there. And suddenly when you've got this deep-rooted emotional reason, the real reason that you're doing these things, and you can see the strategy evolving, well, actually, if I want to do these things, then I need to be fit and healthy. I need to be climbing up smaller hills if I want to climb up the fucking mountain. I need to be doing smaller hills. first to get my body used to that. I need to be eating good food so that my immune system can improve and I can get a little bit stronger each time. Everything just keeps building up. And suddenly, weight loss? Did somebody say weight loss? That's like a byproduct. Before you realise it, you've dropped 2 stone, you're fitting into your perfect jeans, you're dancing with your favourite niece and you've got your glad rags on, you're spinning around the dance floor, you're up the fucking your favourite mountain, you're living life, and somebody says, how much weight have you lost? And you go, I'm actually not sure. I look great. Suddenly you're looking at the scales, and then weight loss is a really cool byproduct of living an inspired life. It's a byproduct, not the main goal, ever. Unless you're in a weight category sport, or like a racing car driver, or whatever. Hopefully that made sense, guys. Based on that last point, I don't want you to think that your weight is not important either, because measuring your weight is a tool that you can use to monitor your progress for the larger picture. Okay, but it's one measuring tool. We've got many. Taking photos, getting a tape measure around your waist, how much your jeans can fasten up, can you get your favourite dress on? All these little things are vital as well. Okay, weighing yourself is not the main goal. It's a way of measuring one aspect of your progress. That's it. Right, guys, I'm going to go to the comments now and see who's on. I'll try and get through as quickly as I possibly can. I'll go to YouTube first. Where are we? Ashish, love that beard. Diane says hello. Susan says I'm here too. Michael, good evening, Coach Stephen. And afternoon from North Ants, UK. Just back from a 4-mile walk. Happy days, Ants. Great. Great Legs Doug says, what about balancing nutrition with macros? There seems to be a lot of popularity with keto programs, but don't we need to keep it balanced for our body's Krebs cycle? So Great Legs Doug, I'm going to assume your name's Doug. Yeah, balancing nutrition with macros. Your macros are absolutely vital. Protein, for those who don't know, protein, fats and carbohydrate are your macros. You could argue that alcohol could factor into a 4th macro, but let's not talk about alcohol for today. That's for another time. Okay, protein, fats and carbohydrates. Absolutely, the balance of fats, carbohydrates and proteins are vital for your overall well-being. Don't tend to count calories or count macros. A lot of it's very popular, people using apps to count their macros. And again, it's a tool, but it's a fine-tuning tool rather than a big picture tool. When it comes to our experience, if you're counting, sorry guys, somebody's just trying to phone me. If you're counting calories and macros, then I'm assuming that you've got everything else figured out, and that's mainly for like bodybuilders, for athletes of any kind, that they need to sort of fine-tune stuff. For the general public, it's like, yeah, we could eventually get to that, but there are so many other things that you're overlooking if you're going straight there. Okay, and that's hopefully what I've covered today, or a little bit of that today anyway. Yeah, Doug, you mentioned keto programs. Again, keto programs, there's a bit of science behind it, they can work. The physiological effects of a keto diet are there to be researched, to be found on research, it's all there. But the psychological effect, not so much. Not everyone can stick to a keto diet. It's quite restrictive. You'll find yourself kind of, depending on your lifestyle. In my experience, when I've kind of gone through it myself and when I've taken other clients through it, it's just like, man, this fucking sucks. It just sucks. Some people love it. It's fine. If it's for you, then great. It can be a good diet, but in my experience, there's much easier ways for losing weight. Kiss from Lithuania says, Amarus Joseph, good afternoon. I'm just going to fire threes as quick as I can, guys. Joseph, Benjamin, Louis, Jim, and somebody else, all saying variations of hi. Carlos, how's it going? This is great advice for life in general. Well done, and thank you, Coach Michael. You're very welcome. And thanks for the advice. Losing weight is so much more than just eating less. Yes. Yes. Laura, excellent advice to keep perspective that life goals are primary and weight loss is as a byproduct. It helps to keep health and the goal and not the hyper focus on weight. What is your why? Exactly, Laura. Exactly. What is your why? It's not about the weight loss, it's about the deeper reasons. Doug says thanks for the feedback. And Germana, so I've been losing weight and gaining muscle for a year or so. Do you think it's better to continue body recomposition or try to cut and bulk like athletes? I'm very scientific about everything. So Germanus, the cut and bulk is basically body recomposition. You're asking if it's one or the other, and ultimately both your things are the same thing. Body recomposition is building muscle and burning fat, or if you want to actually put fat on, if you don't have enough fat, then it could be putting more fat on, losing some muscle. Maybe you're too muscular and you want to balance things out that way. Body recomposition is exactly that. The cut and bulk phases are for when you sort of fine tune. It's harder for these athletes, these bodybuilders. When you say athletes, I'm assuming you mean bodybuilders. It's harder for them to lose fat and build muscle at the same time when you've gone through it several times. So then they go on like, let's build muscle and accept that I'm also going to put a little bit of body fat on at the same time. Build as much muscle as possibly can to then strip away the body fat afterwards. That is for bodybuilders. I wouldn't recommend that for anyone when it comes to normal life. So it depends on what, if you're asking for a bodybuilder, if you're asking if you are a bodybuilder or you want to get into it, then go and seek a bodybuilding coach. And there's loads out there. I'm certainly not a bodybuilding coach. If I were you, if you're a normal person, don't get sucked into the bodybuilding way of things, because you'll end up with mental health problems, if not worse. Don't do it unless you're a bodybuilder, and even bodybuilders still struggle with mental health issues and worse. Okay, really not the best lifestyle. Focus on nice healthy lifestyle, healthy habits that you can sustain for the rest of your life. Okay, this bulking and cutting and extreme diet, that's no way of living. Hopefully that answers your question, Germanus. Now let's go to Facebook. Good morning from a bunch of people. Hello. Sharna, evening coach, twice in one day. Sharna, you lucky devil, you. Charlie, morning from Texas, happy to be here. Buffy Snyder, Kelly Bottomley, Betty, afternoon from the beach in South Carolina. Nice. I'm just going to shoot past Valerie, Beverly, Al Jones. Hi Al. I'm just going to show to the comments, guys. Any questions? Catherine says, when I increase my water and protein correctly, I don't have to make an effort to decrease calories. I don't even count calories. Somehow the extra protein stifles my desire for sweets and snacks. I've lost all my holiday gain. Back on the plan. Catherine, well done. And yes, absolutely. When you increase your protein, you'll increase your metabolism and you'll feel more satisfied. Hello. Teresa, I have trouble eating enough. Stayed at my normal diet. 800 calories, now up to 1300. Still trying to increase it slowly. Wow, Teresa, 800 calories. That's exactly what we're talking about. When I said 25% reduction is being modest, a lot of people cut it a lot more. Sounds like you were one of them. 800 calories a day. I have that for breakfast. I literally have 800 calories for breakfast. For one meal. That's crazy. Jeff, my first live at 5 or noon in my case. Glad to be here, Jeff. Glad that you're here as well. JC says hi from Perthshire. Happy days. I have been doing the same thing and getting the same results, short term and limited. Need a new mindset. Well, I'm going to guess your name is June. Yes. Short term fixes end up in short-term results. Simple as that. If you try and do things too quickly, you've got something called your set point, which is basically for everything sort of naturally balances out. My set point is roughly 85 kilograms and roughly, 10 to 15% body fat. I'm quite lean, but not crazy lean. Okay, that's my normal set point. Now I can gain weight and I can lose weight, but it's normally about 10 pounds either side. And if I don't change anything, then I'll just spring back to the 85. Okay, if I stay it for long enough, I could potentially change my set point. Okay, and that's the same for everybody. When people change short term, your set point just brings you back up and everything goes back to normal. Stay for things long enough for your set point to change, which is normally between 6 and 9 months. Nick Murray's on. Hi Nick, good to see you here. Calito's so beautiful from Chile. Guys, it's worth mentioning right now that our membership is open. If you are interested in taking this in a new direction, want some help, want to be part of a community, want this guidance to take away the guesswork, then just go to thekiltedcoaches.com and look through all the information. The community aspect of the program was a huge draw for me. I know the clan has my back when I'm struggling, says Mary. Mary, they even pay you to say that. Well done. I'm glad that you're finding the benefits of the clan. Flossie, my goal is to feel better about myself because become fitter and get my confidence back. Love it. Susan from Denmark, made it to a live, says Christy. Joey Gallon's on. Hi Joey. Just to a workout course, first time since my stroke. Joey, glad that you're getting back into the action side of things. Hope that you're well, look after yourself. Catherine, coach, I've started working on the elliptical. Whenever I'm watching your videos, it makes me look back and know I actively participated, not just sitting watching you. Happy days. This is gold, thank you so much, says Heather. You're very welcome, Heather. June, string is a great measurement, no numbers. Yeah. We get emotionally attached to numbers, it's crazy. I've had clients who assumed something they weighed and then they stepped on the scales and it was confirmed and then they got really upset. I'm like, but you thought you weighed that before. I know, but I was hoping for something different, and you get so emotionally involved in what like a little computer says or a little dial says. Especially the tape measures as well. Sometimes we recommend tape measures, okay, you have to measure it somehow. But it's funny when people go from, oh, I'm used to measuring in centimetres or in inches. I'm used to measuring in inches and now it's in centimetres, therefore I don't have that emotional connection to what that number actually is. They can't comprehend what those numbers are, and therefore it's just a measure of progress. This is exactly how it should be, just a measure of progress. No emotional attachment to any of the numbers. Russ says, hello from San Francisco, love the message today, thank you, you're welcome. Flossie, I discovered on this journey that I lose weight when I'm happy, so I've had to look at every aspect and mostly my mindset, so you're spot on there, Stephen. Flossie, you lose weight when you're happy. Most people, when they're happy, do things that also make you happy, which is normally eating good food and exercise and getting outdoors. Would zigzag calorie cycling work for losing weight and help prevent plateau? Betty, I've never heard of the term zigzag calorie cycling. I'm going to guess that it's like this though. No. In a real simple answer, I'm not a politician, I'm not going to give you a long-winded answer with that one, I would just say no. There is tools and tactics that you can use to create these calorie deficits on particular days. I don't know what you mean by the zigzag though, so all I'm saying no, I'm guessing that it's literally just up and down constantly. Calories up, calories down, calories up, calories down. Your metabolism will find a balance level here somewhere anyway. There's much more efficient ways of doing it. Warming up from shoveling snow, says Beth. Happy days, that's good. Vicky, hello from Richmond, Virginia. Thank you for the message today. Always welcome. Matt, hola. Matt Parker, that is. David, well, we pig waving from hi to the little pig. And Matthew, Clifford, Stephen, I wonder whether you might have gone overboard on the weight loss thing. Have a few steaks. Is that directed at my personal weight at the moment, or what I'm talking about? I'm not too sure what you mean, Matthew. Have a few steaks. Are you referring to my thing with weight loss? Because I'm naturally lean. I'm assuming that you're referring to that. I'm naturally and yeah, I don't have an issue at all with being too lean. Matthew, maybe you can clarify. I don't know. I don't know if I'm picking you up wrong or not. Overboard on the weight loss thing. I don't know. Says who? I don't know what you mean. Thanks. Read about Zigzag and good to get answer. June, see you in the clan. Matthew, you do look a little too lean. Matthew, I don't know if you're being serious or making fun, but says who? Is that your opinion? When it comes to your weight, guys, and this is to all of you, if you're carrying a few extra pounds right now, it's not my position to say, you need to lose weight. Hey, you're carrying more excess body fat than you need right now. You need to lose weight. That's your call. That's absolutely your call. If you're overweight and you want to lose weight, then great. Come speak to us. We can absolutely help you. Watch a bunch of our videos on YouTube and Facebook. We're here to help you. We're here to give you as much information as we possibly can. If you think I look a bit too lean, then your idea of what is normal has been skewed by your environment. That's what I would say. If I'm looking at somebody and saying, oh, you're overweight, and they're only a couple of pounds overweight, or maybe 7 pounds excess or whatever, then my views have been skewed by my environment. I've been lean my whole life. I'm sorry to say, I've gone through little periods where I've tried to bulk and put on some excess body fat, and I've done that, and then I get lean again, okay? Matthew, don't know if you're just a troll, bud. I don't know if you're just a troll. Christine, hello from Cold Lake, Alberta. I've always had large thighs, but now at 68 the skin is loose and I hide my legs. What exercise might help my weight? Is fine, my waist is small. Christine, I want to read that again. I've always had large thighs, but now at 68 the skin is loose and I hide my legs. What exercise might help? What exercise might help? My weight is fine, my waist is small. Okay, so if you're just talking about your legs, if you've got some excess skin, if your legs have always been big and now they're a little bit smaller, excess skin is there, I would recommend doing, making sure that they've got a good blood supply going to your skin and your muscles in your thighs. So things like foam rolling will help, massage will help. Making sure you've got good nutrients going in, make sure you've got plenty of collagen. That's really important as well for your health of your skin. But then also, Christine, I don't know what you've done to lose the weight, but squats and big sort of strong leg muscle exercises will help to build up that muscle mass. And if you just gain a little bit of muscle mass underneath the skin, it can then start to just stretch that skin again. They won't go back to the same shape that they were before. I'm guessing that it was fat before. If you gain muscle, you're going to have a much better shape, much more sort of thighs, if you like, and it can help just to stretch the skin a little bit more. Jennifer, great messages. Since January 1st, I've been just following the plan. Each day, think about my exercise, my why, and let other things like weight loss just happen. Too many thoughts make my brain cloudy. So Jennifer, yeah, fantastic. Focus in on the things that will affect your weight, not the weight itself. Is the perfect answer. Well done. Christy, you look fabulous. Matthew, go away. I think he's just trolling. Each to their own. Do you know what? Each person that comes to us, we want you to feel good and look good for you, for your own sake. I live my life the way I live it because I enjoy my lifestyle and I like the way I look. Somebody says I'm a bit too lean. I'm like, okay, I know where your mind is now anyway. I know that you like people a little bit more chunkier. I know that you might like people just with a little bit excess body fat, and that's totally cool. Each to their own. That's your lifestyle. That's what your mindset. That's what you find attractive. Then great. I'm not here to say otherwise, but don't impose your opinions on me. David, watch the hydration video again. It was good to hear the value of hydration for all systems working well. The last couple of days I've tried drinking a whole litre of water before even getting up, and another litre with breakfast. I have felt more energized. Fantastic, David. Well done. Drinking more first thing in the morning is definitely sets you up for the day. Makes you super hydrated, makes you more focused, gets your urinary system just fired up, digestive system fired up for for taking action the rest of the day. John, you're awesome, mate. Love following you guys. John, no worries at all. Matthew, I'd have to be Scandinavian to be a troll. It was merely an observation that you look like you've lost rather a lot. Matthew, I don't know if you're mistaking me for someone else. Who do you think? Who do you think that I used to be? Like, I'm not any leaner than I've ever been. In fact, I'm probably carrying more excess body fat now than I have, like, say, last year. So yeah, observation is your observation, I guess. Kathy, Coach Steve is a thoroughbred. Coach Rav is a Clydesdale. We are what we are. The goal is not the weight, it's fitness, right? Exactly. The goal is happiness. The goal is happiness. I get happiness from feeling strong. Christine says thanks. David, about 25 years ago, I was down to 185 pounds. I was swimming once or twice a day. Everyone was telling me I looked too thin. I was finally at the appropriate weight for my height based on medical charts. We don't know what healthy looks like. Yeah, let's turn this conversation back to what's important rather than the way I look. Matthew's obviously got a bit of a chip on his shoulder about lean people. To be honest, here's a point that's worth bringing up right now is when we've helped people in the past to lose weight, one of the common reports that we get back from our members, and when I used to do PT, it used to happen quite a lot with PT because obviously you're helping people lose some weight, and the amount of people that come from their loved ones saying, oh, do you not think you've lost a bit too much now? Do you not think you're taking this a bit too seriously? Do you not think you're getting addicted to the gym? And it happens so much, and you're like, are you serious? And most members, most of our clients go, yeah, I just told them I'm fine, I'm good, I'm carrying on. I've actually got more to lose. And the reason for it is because when somebody gets a little bit leaner, starts to lose weight, like when our members start to lose weight, what they tend to find is their relationships, if you've got an absolutely loving relationship, people just want the best for you. They go, you're losing weight right now, what are you doing? And they're interested. They go, oh, tell me about it. Like, how much you're losing? Like, how are you doing it? What have you changed? What's it like? How do you feel? Are you feeling good? You know, they're asking all these interesting questions. When people feel uncomfortable, okay, Matthew, when somebody feels uncomfortable with how lean you're getting because of how it makes them feel about themselves, then they'll say, do you not think you're taking it a bit too seriously? Do you not think that you've taken this a bit too far? Do you not think you're getting a bit too skinny nowadays? Because you're changing how they feel about themselves. Okay, this is really important. You're changing how they feel about themselves. They feel good about themselves when you're overweight. They feel good about themselves when you're reflecting back to them what they are. Okay, but when you start to change things, and it happens all the time. So I'm guessing that Matthew, who wants me to know that he feels I'm a little bit too lean and I've taken weight loss too far, that's your opinion, but it's telling me more about you, Matthew, than about me. I know who I am, I know what I do for a living, I know how I train, how I eat, how I sleep, I know my lifestyle, I know all of this. And I could speak all day to you about how healthy I am, how happy I am, how content I am, how creative I feel, how much love and compassion I have for people around me. I can talk to you all day about that, and it's not about that. I know where I am. If you're saying that I'm looking a bit skinny, then great, let's talk about that. That's why is that a problem? Why is that your opinion? Is it somehow reflecting something back towards you? Perhaps. Just some observations from my point of view, Matthew. Betty, on the calorie question, do you recommend then to just reduce by 10% and start strength training as well as cardio for the best chance to get to goal weight? So Betty, no. So in a nutshell, yeah. I mean, I have said 10%. If you are reducing calories, then 10% is a good number to aim for. Reduce by 10%, but it depends on what else your lifestyle looks like. So a lot of points I made today were things like your sleep, your obviously stress level, looking at all these little things. If you want to start changing some things about your diet, don't instantly go to the reduction of calories. I would instead look at the quality of the food that you're eating, and are you balancing out protein, fats and carbohydrates? Okay, if you're to aim for about a third of each, it's a pretty fucking good place to go with. People say, oh, I believe in a balanced diet, therefore I'm having bread and pasta and rice and potatoes and chips and french fries or whatever. You know, it's all about balance after all. Like, yeah, it's a bunch of carbs. Oh, I'm having couscous and quinoa, and I'm having my smoothie and my green soup, and like, yeah, it's all carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs. Let's talk about where the protein is, healthy, good protein, and let's talk about where the healthy fats are coming from. Balancing out. If you try and get a third of each, if you're 2,000 calories, then it's roughly 600 calories of each. Roughly 650 calories of each, roughly, which is, you know, then broken down into the different food sources. That's where I would go first, because if you naturally increase your protein, decrease your carbs and fats, you're going to be creating more than 10% deficit instantly, and you'll lose weight. You'll feel great. You'll be energetic. You'll be focused. You'll be satisfied. Your energy levels will be good, and you won't have to be cutting out calories just yet. Flossie, you look great, Stephen. Thanks, Flossie. Christine, I tuned in because you are in the know and look amazing. Show us your beautiful arms and Matt will be jealous. Christine, show us your beautiful arms. Gunshot for Christine. Beth, know yourself. I know when and how and why my weight went on. Things are now different and I can move on and things are improving. Happy days, Beth. Happy days. That's the end of the comments there. Let me just jump back to YouTube just to make sure that there's nothing else going on. Germanus, thanks. I'm a normal person, but I'm just working to a goal because I weighed 10 kilograms less pre-COVID and I had so much energy and ambition and I want to get that back. So Germanus, yeah, fantastic, great. Don't do bulk and cut. It's the wrong thing. That's for bodybuilders who want to get as much muscle as they possibly can, but you're going to put on excess body fat with that to then cut. And you know, it's good for bodybuilders. Anything for, like, you know, if a movie star was trying to put in as much muscle as they possibly could for a movie role and they had like a short piece of thing to do it, then they might decide to go on a bulk and accept that they're going to put some excess body fat on too. But for most of us, for everyday people, don't do it. Stick with a normal lifestyle and then look at your fitness, nutrition, exercise, your sleep and your mindsets, or your psychology and overall hormones and stress levels, etc. And you'll be grand. You'll be good. Dawn, I'm still struggling with my sleeping. I've tried melatonin, but it. So 2 seconds. I've tried melatonin, but it doesn't seem to work. I wake up with a stiff neck, so it may be my pillows. So Dawn, yes, it might also be stress as well. So if you're stressed, what naturally happens is your shoulders come up, yeah? And these muscles here, these are where a lot of people hold a lot of tension, a lot of their stress in the trapezius muscles. So what can happen is these muscles just tighten up and you're stressed. And then you go to bed at night, you're already tightened up, and then you turn and you sleep with your head slightly to one side, or maybe actually on your side, so you're kind of there. And because these muscles have been stressed throughout the day, you then wake up and it's like, and your muscles have seized in that shortened position. This is where they should be, and they can shorten. And if you sleep like this, then they can become worse and actually start to shorten overnight. And it means that you feel really uncomfortable. Feel really tight. So do some stretching before you go to sleep. That would definitely help with the tight neck. But sleeping in general, yes, melatonin can help, but in my experience there are so many other factors to to manipulate with your sleep before you start looking at supplements. I'd be looking at regular bedtime, making sure that your room is nice and cold, making sure that you're coming off screens and devices at least half an hour before you go to bed, but build it up to 2 hours ideally if you're struggling with sleep at all. Betty says, thank you, helps lots, working on eating less processed foods, and your explanation on creating balance makes total sense. Really appreciate your answer. Betty, you're very welcome. Right guys, I'm going to shoot for the day. I've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, so it's time to go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Just a quick one from Jennifer on YouTube. Wow, so rare that I can catch you. Hi Coach Jennifer, thank you for joining. I'm just about to jump off, so I'm sorry that this hasn't been too long and you're just joining us, but I have been on for an hour and a bit. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, go to thekiltedcoaches.com if you want to read about working with us. You can drop us a message on Facebook. Messages are open. So yeah, drop us a message on Facebook or go to thekiltedcoaches.com, read all about the program and jump on board, and we will look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye bye.